Hello YouTube, this is Ben here from grizzlybeargear.com, and today I want to do a quick review on this release aid. For those of you who don't know what this is the T.R.U Blade Pro handheld release aid. And I know that if you've been watching Outdoor Channel or any kind of hunting TV or movies, you probably have noticed the trend to switch to these kind of handheld release aids. And there's a lot of them, and they're not new to archery. They've been used for quite a while in the world of target archery, but in bow hunting, they're growing in popularity wicked fast. Okay, so you're seeing more and more of these things out in the deer woods than what we ever saw before. So, in my time at the bow shop, the biggest bow shop in the planet, I was able to try hundreds of these release aids and try to figure out which ones I liked the best. And at the end of the day, this was the first one I purchased. And in my opinion, for good reason. I've absolutely loved this thing. The T.R.U Blade Pro. Now there is the T.R.U Blade and there's the T.R.U Blade Pro. The only difference between the two is that the Pro is half brass. So if you're looking there, you can see how it's split in half, and one half is brass, the other one's black. What that does is it just adds some mass weight to this release, as opposed to one that's made entirely of a lighter metal. A lot of archers prefer the brass because of the dense feeling it kind of gives it. If you hold this one side by side, one that's lighter, a lighter metal, it just doesn't feel as good. The other one feels chintzy. So is that really a huge deal? Is it a fact that that's going to make you shoot better? Not necessarily. However, if it feels good in your hand, it's probably a good indicator that if it's more comfortable, you're probably going to shoot better with it. As a whole, though, this release in particular just feels excellent in your hand. This is because you're not going to see it too great, but I think you'll get the gist, that it is checkered on the outsides. So it has a really nice texture, and what T.R.U at least calls that texture is, they say it's a knife grip texture. I don't know about that, but it definitely feels good in your hand. The other thing about it is it has very deep finger grooves. So if you're looking at that, a lot of releases are more smooth than that. There are some that have deeper grooves, but that's pretty nice right there, and it just fits real great in your hand. So right off the bat, when you pull this thing out of the box, you go, ooh, this is decent. The big thing that made this release stand out to me compared to competitors is just how extremely silky smooth it is. Upon pulling on this trigger, it just is so smooth. There's not, on some of the other releases, there's a real mechanical click, and this one is just very smooth and even quiet, which isn't necessarily a huge deal, but hey, if you can be quiet for hunting, that's never a bad thing. So, all those things, you haven't even shot it yet, and it's doing pretty good. Now, this is something it doesn't bother me too much, because where I'm anchoring, I'm almost parallel to the deck. A lot of people, though, are turning their wrist like this when they're at full draw. So that's where like the torqueless D-loops and things like that come in, and a lot of people are obsessed with the torque. So what T.R.U did is, this one has a very thin jaw and head. So if you were to clip on your D-loop and turn your wrist like this, which is not something I do, but if you are one of those guys, in theory that thinner jaw and head is going to cause a little bit less torque on the D-loop, a little bit less torque. So not a bad thing to think about. It might as well be thinner. The reason I think that's nice is if I'm clipping on, especially with an arrow, if I'm there and I'm going to clip on my D-loop, if this is a little thinner, there's more space to clip on, especially when the knock's in the way. But it's not a huge deal there, but it's something that they just kind of thought of everything when they made this, so that's what it impressed me about. As you can see on mine, should just mention this, because a lot of releases don't have this, is they do have an eyelet there on the release, where I was able to tie, I was able to make a little cord to tie. They sell one but I mean, I just used some D-loop material, wrapped it through there and tied it off. I kind of served it, made it look nice, but that way when I'm hunting or when I'm out on a 3D course, it's just there, it can dangle, and that's nice. I mean, compared to some releases that don't have that, that kind of stinks because it's easy to misplace the thing or drop it, at least if you're like me. So to me, I do like the fact that there's an eyelet to tie a wrist strap on there. You know, so we covered just about everything. This is something to me that it just seals the deal, and it did with a lot of the customers I talked to. This is impressive. This release is made to such tight tolerances, something like a piece of paper. So I got some, shout out to Bow Hunter Die stickers, but anyway, it won't even close on a piece of paper. If I'm trying to lock it on, it won't even shut on that little thin piece of paper. I mean, here's straight up computer paper right here. Won't close on that. So if there is anything in there, it's not going to clip shut. That might sound like, I mean, you might even take that as a bad thing, but it's not. Because what will happen with these handheld releases is, again, you're hooking onto your D-loop, and you'll get the edge of the D-loop with the jaw, and some releases will clip shut, like shut on you. So you'll be halfway clipped, you start to draw, and you get this far back, and it goes and launches that arrow on you because it wasn't actually shut around the D-loop, it was halfway shut on the D-loop. This release won't do that. So it's a safety mechanism, basically, more for the bow than anything else, so you don't mess up. So that's awesome. I mean, it is so precisely built that it won't shut on a tiny little piece of paper. So to me, that is excellent. That is excellent. If it can do that, then it just goes to show how perfect and precise this thing was built. So I'm impressed. I've been very impressed with this release. Finally, it does have all of the adjustment that you would look for. I would say the company that really has a lot of adjustment is Stan. So some of my Stan releases, they have a lot of adjustment, because I'll get there. But this release, on the thumb barrel there, you can see there is room to adjust it, so I can move it out further or in deeper. So if I'm using this release, where it's sitting inside my hand is back here. Now, if you wanted, you could move it out so it was more like up here or wherever you wanted it. So there's plenty of room to move there. Can you see that? See that real well? Plenty of room to adjust that. Now I know you can rig up some different barrels, but I don't know that it actually comes with that. That's something I'm actually not sure. I never saw it, put it that way. So it does have that adjustment. It has trigger sensitivity and trigger travel adjustment. So you can adjust how hard you have to push to get the trigger to go, and you can adjust how far the trigger has to travel to get it to go. So as both those adjustments, that's all the higher end ones are going to have that, and the lower end ones aren't. So that's a big thing to consider, because you really do get different feels, and if you're shooting the release properly, you're going to want to tweak it right to where your back tension's getting that release to shoot. So all the adjustments that you'd want, I said I would mention this, so I will. On a Stan, some of the Stan releases, you can actually adjust the barrel this way. So they have basically another axis of freedom that this one doesn't, but most don't. To be honest, it's kind of nice to have, I guess, but I mean, I didn't think it was a big enough deal to influence my buying decision. So that about covers it, guys. That's about all the features that this guy has. If you were to go with the Blade, not the Blade Pro, so the one that I mentioned isn't half brass, it's going to be a little bit cheaper, but also it will be available in more colors, because what you can actually buy with that one is different casings for it, and so you can plug on, like, I know they make an ivory one, and they make like a green scale looking, they make some cool looking colors for the non-pro model. If you go with the pro model, you can't do that because it is what it is. Now they do make it, I know, at least in black, silver, and purple. So it would be black and gold, silver and gold, or purple and gold. Honestly, I suspect that most of you guys out there watching this channel are going to go with the purple one. Yeah. But that wouldn't be a bad thing anyhow, because you drop it out in the woods, it might be easier to find the purple one than it is to find the black one. But whatever color you go with doesn't matter too much. There is a medium and a large. Those are as far as I know, those were the only two sizes available. They might have started making some new ones by now, but last time I checked, there was mediums and larges. I have a large. I have average size hands. I don't have huge hands, but probably a large for most men is going to be where you're at. If you have giant mitts on you, you might want to look in and see what other sizes they have. I really want to say that they have some other sizes than that, but I'm actually just not sure. I'm positive there are mediums and larges. That's something you can look into on your own. Let's see if there's anything else I wanted to cover here. There's really not. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you do want to purchase one of these, they are available on my website, www.grizzlybeargear.com. Obviously, they will be in the archery section with the release aids. This release does come in. You're going to be able to find it between $260 and $290 on, anywhere I've ever seen. There are limits to how cheap they can advertise these for sale. It is, this is a high-end creme de la creme release aid, guys. So you'll see pros shooting this release. As far as a thumb trigger goes, this is probably, it's definitely the one I sold the most. I have sold the most of, but it's up there in the industry as one of the top selling at this point, and it just came out 2 years ago, so it's crushing it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, you can buy this product at grizzlybeargear.com. I will just drop a handy link in the description. You will have to hit the expand button, and everything in the description will expand. You'll be able to find the product link. You don't have to buy it off me, but that way you can just click on it and see what the reviews are. So that will be in the description. I'll also post a link to our Facebook page in the description where there are other videos, as well as links to just my overall website, the articles on my website, because I'm posting a lot of content, informative type of articles, guys. I think a lot of them are really good. I'm putting a lot of time into those informative articles, so check them out. grizzlybeargear.com. It'll be in the menu. It's called Articles, and you can find, I do archery, waterfowl, dog training, a couple other things, that I'll write articles about, so you can find all those on the website. To me, archery is my first love, so archery has the most. I've written probably 20,000 words on the website so far, and nothing but information for you guys. It's just free advice. All this is just advice, okay? I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what I've seen in my years in the industry and my 14 years of being a archer, so both competitive and bow hunting. That was my review on the Blade Pro, guys. Number one thing that's the most important is that you guys hit the subscribe button. That's what I need to be able to keep doing this. It gives me really good feedback on how a video produces for me, so I know whether or not you liked it. Also, please hit the thumbs up button down there, because to me that's like, it's like giving a round of applause at the end of a presentation. Okay, you should hit the thumbs up button. It doesn't help me much. All that it's really going to do is help the video rank higher so that more people can find it. As far as I saw, there isn't a better review on the Tru-Ball Blade Pro, which astounded me because it's one of the best. So I would say that, please give it the thumbs up so somebody else can find this video. And again, the most important thing was to subscribe. I got to say it one more time. I'm obligated to, because that's what I need from you guys, more than anything else. So thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you soon in the next video, which, as promised, I'm going to do this. We're going to talk stabilizers, okay? The sidebar being up and coming as it is, I think it's important that I do a video on that. Alright, so that's what the next video is going to be. Hope to see you then. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Thank you very much on behalf of myself and grizzlybeargear.com.